So, Tenet released in the US about 2 weeks ago now. September 3rd was the official release day for the US. I saw it at an early screening showing thing on the 31st of August. So, it's been a little over 2 weeks since I first saw Tenet. This will obviously be my review slash reacts thing talking about Tenet. For the first couple minutes at least, I'll be spoiler free. This entire video might be spoiler free, and I might do a separate video talking about spoilers. It depends on how long I end up going on about the film spoiler free. But if I do get into spoilers in this video, I'll be sure to give a spoiler warning and give you ample time to close out the video and be warned before I start spoiling some really big things about the plot. But so Tenet released. It's the newest film from visionary director Christopher Nolan. If you don't know, Christopher Nolan is my favorite director. Obviously, I have a huge bias from the Dark Knight trilogy, but really just his entire filmography is incredible. I think he is one of the top three easily directors working today. He is so good, and this movie just continues to prove that to me. He, one, has grown so much as a director. Like, from the beginning, he's already incredible from the start of his filmography, and he just keeps on getting better and better and better. And really, the control and the precision and just the vision that he has as a director is really second to none. And this movie is insane. It's absolutely his biggest film to date as far as scale and spectacle is concerned. They've said that a lot in the press for this film. They're talking about how it filmed in, I think, 7 different countries, and just all the set pieces that they were doing and everything, and how just wild it is. And that's really true. Like, you see this movie and you're like, wow. And one of the things that I really love about Nolan and this film is that Nolan does everything he can practically. He will always choose to do practical effects over visual effects. He'll use visual effects to add on and in combination with something that he's already shot practically. But like, there's less than like 300 VFX shots in this film, which is insane, especially considering what the film is and what the film is doing. And so you literally have moments where get moments where they crash a real 747 into a hangar because they say, one, that was logistically the cheapest way to actually do that, and then also because you can't you just can't recreate that scene and that visual of a 747 crashing into a hangar without doing it for real. And so you just get so many things like that throughout this movie that are amazing. So yeah, the whole production is something that I just absolutely marvel at and just makes me scratch my head every time. I've seen it twice now. I saw it like a week after I saw it the first time, so it was about a week ago at the time that I'm recording this. And yeah, the scale, the practicality, it's incredible what is accomplished in this film from a filmmaking perspective. The cinematography is also incredible. This is Hoyt Van, I don't know how to say his full name, but I'm gonna have to Google it because I need to be able to do that. I can't say it. I cannot say his name. I apologize. It's the same cinematographer that worked with Nolan on Interstellar and Dunkirk, and so he just continues his amazing, amazing work here. The film looks incredible, start to finish, and is shot so well. The score by Ludwig, it's another name that I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Ludwig Göransson. I'm definitely butchering that, but he did the score for this film, and that is also incredible too. I've been listening to it so much the last couple weeks because it released on Spotify, I think the day the movie was supposed to come, either the day before the movie was supposed to come out in the US, I believe. And so I've been listening to that on Spotify. And one of the crazy things about the score for this film is that a lot of it is composed in a way where you can listen to it backwards and it still sounds like normal. And WB even released a inverted version of the score. They uploaded it to YouTube, and it's the entire score backwards, and it sounds so good. And so it's just really, really crazy. And yeah, at this point, this video is definitely going to be all spoiler free because I'm trying to keep it around 10 or 15 minutes. But yeah, the film is just so good. As for the actual plot, it deals with it's an espionage, Cold War, thriller, action, spectacle type movie, and it's also an absolute mindfuck. If you thought that Inception was hard to grasp or very like high concept, then you are in for fucking something completely out of this world with this movie. This film is insane in the best way. I mean this in the highest compliment. It's one of the reasons that this might be my new favorite Nolan film. It's which is what it deals with. So it, without spoiling things, one of the things that you know and you see happening in the trailer is that it doesn't deal with time travel, it deals with time inversion, in which an object's entropy is reversed, and so an object and or people begin moving backwards through time. So it's not time travel, because they're not going from like point A to point B. Like, you're not traveling from like 2 weeks in the future to 2 weeks in the past, like instantaneously. That's not what happens. But the way that the movie does this and the way that the movie uses this is just next level, honestly. It's so insane to see. And one of the things I love about this movie, but that also makes me sad, is that I know I will never see anything like this again. I'll never see. They literally had, for a bunch of the stunts, they had stuntmen learn the choreography in reverse so they could film it in reverse, like practically, instead of just like rewinding footage. They had people throwing reverse punches and shit, and they do that, and just it goes back to the way that it's filmed. It's just so ridiculous to see, but it's so cool. And so that, and then the way that the plot works, and everything that's going on at all times, basically, especially after because like you see it the first time and you're like, okay, this is super cool. And there's one scene in the movie where you get a lot of information thrown at you at once, and I was sitting there and I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I got some of that. But then the movie does a good job, I think, at showing you what it means. Kind of, it's a visual medium, and it very much takes advantage of that. And I feel like the more that you sit with the movie, the more you start understanding and putting pieces together. And then obviously repeat viewings are going to help that. I can't wait to see the movie like 100 times. Seeing it the second time, I obviously noticed so much more than I did the first time. And there's just so much going on the entire time throughout the entire movie when you really start breaking things down. And it's so impressive. I haven't been able to find any inconsistencies in the way the logic of the movie works. I'll leave that at that, because if I go further, it'll get into spoilers. But yeah, the plot I love so much. Everyone did a great job from an acting perspective. John David Washington was phenomenal as the protagonist. Robert Pattinson was great as Neil. I really loved his character and his character arc in this. Elizabeth Debicki, I think I'm saying her last name correctly. Probably not, though. She did a really good job. She's not just a damsel in distress. If you think that that's what her character boils down to, you've kind of missed the point of her character, I think. And Kenneth Branagh did a good job as the villain. I didn't like him as much the first time I watched it, but upon second viewing, I liked him more, because at first he seemed kind of just sort of typical bad guy needs to be bad. They give him some character depth, and they give him a good backstory and stuff, and you understand why he's doing what he's doing, even though it's clearly wrong. But I liked him more on the second viewing. Yeah, all the supporting cast is great. Michael Caine is in it for a scene, which is really cool. And yeah, it's just a very solid movie. The action too is just mind-blowing. I've talked about it a little bit, but like, there are so many sequences in this movie that are just absolutely ludicrous. They're so big and grand and intricately planned and plotted and expertly executed, and it's just amazing. It's so good. I can't recommend going to the movie theater right now in this climate. I went twice, obviously, and it was a not smart decision. I thankfully, as of right now, am okay. Knock on wood that it stays that way. And but I can't recommend anyone going to a theater. But if you feel safe going to a theater, I think this movie is going to be in theaters for a long time. I could see this being in theaters until at least 2021. So if you feel safe going to a theater, I absolutely recommend. This is a movie that I think deserves to be seen on the biggest screen that you possibly can. I saw this on IMAX both times I saw it, which was amazing. I love IMAX. I love seeing films in the biggest frame and aspect ratio and the biggest picture that I possibly can, and this really didn't disappoint with that. And yeah, there's just a lot that I really love about this movie. It's mind-blowing, it's jaw-dropping, it's got heart, action, suspense, intrigue. It has so much. Nolan's action especially has gotten so much better over the course of his career, and yeah, it's such a fucking good movie. I love it a lot. I don't know if I'll make a spoiler specific video or if I'll do a podcast episode with a friend and talk spoilers about Tenet, but that will happen in the near future, hopefully. But yeah, I think those are most of my spoiler-free thoughts on the movie. Obviously, I clearly loved it a lot. I definitely recommend it. I've been reading a lot on the Tenet subreddit to try to, get more into the movie and everything that's happening, and just seeing what other people think and talking about the film, which has been a lot of fun for me. I definitely recommend checking out that subreddit if you use Reddit, or even if you don't. It's pretty cool to see all the conversation going on there. But yeah, I think those are pretty much all my spoiler-free thoughts for the film. Yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment without, getting too much into stuff. So yeah, those are my spoiler-free thoughts. I will also be recording and uploading soon my Batman 98 Bats Reacts, my Batman 99 Bats Reacts, because that came out today. I actually have yet to read it. I'm probably reading it after I finish recording this video. And then also my Detective Comics 1027 Bats Reacts, which I still need to read that as well. That released today at the time that I'm recording, and I need to go and read that, which I'll probably again do after this video. So those 3 videos will probably be the next 3 videos on my channel. I'll do those more. I'll probably upload 2 of those in 1 week. That way I'm not waiting until the end of the month to do those, since those are pretty recent topics. But yeah, those are probably going to be my next 3 uploads, so be on the lookout for those. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like down below. And if you have any thoughts on Tenet, if you've seen Tenet and you have any thoughts on Tenet, let me know down below in the comments. Please try to keep it spoiler free if you can. I don't want to get spoilers in my comment section if people haven't seen the movie yet. You can also feel free to add me on Twitter at BatmanFiles if you have thoughts about Tenet. And if you haven't already, please consider hitting that subscribe button and turning the notification bell on. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me out. And thank you so much for watching, and be sure to tune in to the next one. Later.